House Homeland Security Committee Chairman Mark Green joins me now. Chairman, thanks for taking the time. It's certainly, you can feel the air of anxiety here. This might be the moment where finally Republicans get something to protect our nation from what has become a completely open southern border, with images of young men walking, strolling across, men who could be working somewhere or in the military somewhere else.
Yeah, you got the cartels just bringing groups, huge groups, and it funnels billions of dollars to the cartels. And while they're being overwhelmed at those crossing sites, who knows what's coming across the border itself? We have video images of mules bringing in backpacks full of fentanyl. And this administration continues to violate the laws passed by this Congress, lawlessly allowing this to happen and putting Americans at risk. Every American is now at risk, not only to the fentanyl, but look, you mentioned it, it's 2 million known gotaways. Now, that doesn't even count the unknown gotaways, the folks that come across that they don't see. The known gotaways, they're actually overwhelmed and they see the person going around them. That's a counted number. But I think it was Border Chief Ortiz who said it's another 20%, his guess, that are unknown. So we're talking 8 million people. This is insane. No nation can sustain itself doing this.
I spoke with Senator Thune earlier about the negotiations and trying to get concessions from the Biden administration and taking really care of not getting played, for lack of a better word. You know, a press release they put out back in March bragged about the 23,000 border agents, the most ever. But what good is a border agent if they're not allowed to do their job? I mean, we need to make sure, at least I hope Republicans are making sure that whatever concessions are received on this negotiations, that it leads to authentic security, not just more of this lip service.
Yeah, I'm not voting for another dollar if there isn't policy changes from this administration. The budget was the same at the end of the Trump administration as it is. It's actually more now. So more money is not going to solve the problem. We do need to get help to those agents who are out there. I mean, the suicide rates are up. The divorce rates are up. They are stretched to the max. But the truth of the matter is this migration crisis is caused by the policies of this administration, violating the laws passed by this Congress, violating their oaths to live by the Constitution, which says we write the laws, they execute them. I mean, this is a travesty, Charles. And again, every single American is at risk because of this.
And to that point, now we're hearing, of course, from many Democratic mayors, governors, whose states can't take it. These small border town mayors have been pleading for years, they've been strained, their budgets have been busted. And then you have the richest cities in our country and places like Martha's Vineyard that can't last 24 hours with all of these folks. I thought that could be a tipping point to some sort of logical, hey, let's come together and find a way, right? It's a security issue, it's an economic issue, and yet it's still not moving. The needle hasn't moved.
That's a great point. You know, Eric Adams is upset that he's getting 100, 110 a day. El Paso gets 1,000 a day. New York City is a city of 11 million people with a lot of tax base. El Paso is a city of 600,000. It is insane that they, throw the flag up and say, hey, it's destroying our city. Those border cities are getting crushed and have been for years, the entire time of this Biden administration.
Chairman Green, you also heard from Homeland Security officials, Home Depot executives, the National Federation of Realtors on the rising cost of retail theft. What else did you learn in today's hearings?
Well, it's very interesting. If you go to those blue cities and those blue states, they're getting hammered. The average in Washington state of shoplifted, basically retail theft, is $350 per person in that state. In the rest of the country, it's $170. So it's all about the local policies that respond to criminals, releasing criminals for violent, criminals and theft and all that stuff. They're just streeting the criminals. Of course, they want to defund the law enforcement, and they've done that in Washington state, particularly in Seattle, and now they're paying the price for it. It's just, once again, a reflection on liberal policies that are failing the people they're supposed to be serving.
I saw where the National Federation of Realtors tweaked their messaging a little bit. I feel like it was under political pressure because I watch the stock market every day, and for the first time, I'm hearing major companies call out localities. Now, they haven't called out specific cities, but they're saying we are going to lose billions of jobs. They're projecting the loss of billions of dollars, which means the loss of a lot of jobs, and also the removal of these critical, sometimes a drugstore. You need them in your neighborhood. And instead of the messaging war, I wish we would get to a point where, hey, this is self-destruction, and ironically, it's in the blue cities and blue states.
That's exactly right. It's just law and order, and we need to be a country of law and order. And until these liberal mayors and liberal county commissions and city, commissioners want to enforce the laws, this is going to continue. You look here in D.C., CVS stores here in Washington, D.C., they don't even put toilet paper out anymore. You got many of them. You have to go and turn a card in and have someone from staff help you get your toilet paper. I mean, it's insane.